Hi everybody, this is Blossom, and today we have beautiful weather, blue sky finally. So I thought I'm going to do a tarot reading here at this place, and this time I want to do a relationship spread. So I've created this relationship tarot spread because I don't have that one to go to, you know what I mean? And I wanted something like that. And yeah, that's why I've decided to do that. And I'm going to do it here. I hope it's not too windy. As you can see, it's still cold. There's snow. It's melting away. But I don't care. I just really want to be outside today here at the... it's called the Freudenburg. We come here more often with the doggies. Mostly we are alone. They can run around here and have fun. And I'm going to do, the reading. So as you can see, this is a 6-card spread. And we have card number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There we go. And the first card is, the question is, what unites us as a couple? And there we have the Tower. Let's zoom in. Okay, I have to secure the cards a bit because there is a little bit of wind, just that the cards don't fly away. However, so it's interesting that we have the blasted beach here, which is the Tower and traditional tarot decks. So the Tower is, of course, always something that talks about which can talk about your belief system and how something will happen that will strip that away, and also stripping away the ego and building up from zero again. You know, everything goes away, but you have that foundation. And also in the beach, in the tree, we see it has the roots. Those are deep into the earth. And what I like by that, when I take that now for a relationship reading, for my relationship, and this is really what the question, what unites us as a couple. When I look at it like that, it represents for me, especially the last year, as everything went really, a lot of stuff went wrong, and we had to deal with so many things, and but it strengthened us, it united us more. And it's something that we can manage as a couple. So when stuff gets rough, very simply put, when stuff gets rough, we will be there for each other, which is not always a given in every relationship. Well, I've seen many relationships. In my personal environment, I often see how wrong it can go in relationships, and it's really not a given that unconditional being there for each other without crushing anything. The other thing, what I see in that card is, you know, just have a look at the man in the card. He's yelling and he's screaming, and the woman is she's very serene with the whole situation. It's okay. And for me, the tarot card is not always the complete catastrophe, all right? It doesn't always mean that, but I also always think that it's an important thing to do, to readjust your belief system. And when you see that it doesn't work anymore, you have to build anew, and you really have to strip away all that old stuff, and there the Tower energy is really good. But look at them, how serene she is. And so I think in our relationship, and I think it's just the other way around, with me it's always my husband being the rock, and even in the hardest situation he can keep his calm, and I can lean on him, I can trust him. And maybe he would even say otherwise, I don't know, that he can trust me and then I keep my calm. So we always have that balance there. So when he freaks out, I will be the one who is actually centered and calm and tries to get it in order, and the other way around, of course, as well. But I also think, which is interesting, there is a short mentioning in the guidebook as well, I think, when I remember right, with the beach. The beach stands for ancient knowledge, and also the knowledge that is written down. And when we see then the blasted beach, that also that maybe has to go, and we have to rewrite history, you know. And again, when I see that what brings us together, I think that is something where we are so adaptable. We don't fear that change. And even, you know, when you have like your secret as being the good couple, I am really doing, you know, of course there is not the one secret. So to overthink that and to change over and over again, and that is something that I bring in a lot. I have to say that I love to change things and to bring in. I go extremes, to be honest, also in our relationships, in life, in our relationships, in my relationship as well. I change a lot around, and always trying to adapt and stuff. So, and we will come to that later. As long as I'm in control of the change, it's good. Which is absolutely not the tower energy. Now let's go to card number 2. So card number 2 right here. Sorry, my jacket is probably noisy. What disconnects us as a couple? And that is, it's so weird to see then the 10 of Cups. But I do get the message. So there are like 2 layers that I take here. So first of all, it's one of the things that we are as a couple. We are we are looking very much to bring in harmony. And I think at this moment, because you have to know, this is like a snapshot, you know. This is not the whole relationship over the last, in my case, over the last 15 years, but, you know, right now. And I think that bringing in that harmony at all cost, just for the sake of having harmony, it's not the right way at the moment. And maybe we don't take enough care of each other's feeling, even though on the surface we do, but deep down we don't, because we in a sense try to bring it, you know, having the bliss and contentment just on the surface, but deep down there's something not just resolved. And that makes completely sense. I was just discussing that a few days ago with my husband, that sometimes I need that. I need to vent a bit, but we can't really do that because we are both very, how do you say that? It doesn't sound silly. Very polite people and very, very nice. Nobody is yelling at each other. And I think that is something we should do, especially when we look at the other card here. That is number 4. How can we overcome our weakness? So I skip that, I just do the cross here. How can we overcome our weakness? And there I have the moon, and the moon is for me always a card for trusting your instinct, going back to your roots, going deep and kind of dirty, you know, in every sense. And I think that would be good, because it has just that a bit, it's slightly darker but not bad. So I just, 1 second, there we go. Yeah, that is often what the moons for me means. But on the other hand, when we go back here, sorry when I don't do it in perfect order, but I prefer to do it that way. So the other thing with this card is also a bit a sense of that I don't deserve that happiness at the moment. Like I was given too much already, and I don't take that happiness on. Yeah, because deep down I think I don't deserve it. So that is another layer of that card that I take out of it. And I always worry, instead of just, you know, just accepting the bliss that I'm given. Okay, so the card number 3 is how can we strengthen our bond? And this comes back again, because there we have the Fortune Fairy, which is usually the Wheel of Fortune. And so with the Wheel of Fortune, we usually have the ups and downs. But in this deck especially, the Fortune Fairy is really about, there is your luck, there we go. No, nothing else, it's just luck. Let's see, I may zoom in a bit more, we see how she makes a wish by blowing the dandelion. And yeah, I definitely think that the need that we have to do right now is to overcome that tower energy. Even though this is something that was an energy in which we grow as a couple, in which we grew as a couple, but now it's time, going back to the 10 of Cups from before, when I said that I think I don't deserve it. This is really again the reminder, you do. You can have that happiness, just live it, just accept it and live it, and especially together with your partner. You deserve a happy time, a joyful time, and a bit of a carefree time at the moment. And this is definitely a good reminder for myself. I don't think this is such an issue for my husband, but I have that lately very, very much, and always I think, I come out of it, and something always takes me back down. You don't deserve it, and then something goes wrong again, and I see. We don't deserve it, and we have very little time together as a couple as well. I don't know why we can't manage at the moment, but my husband works in shifts, so that's sometimes of an issue as well, that you just can't spend as much time together. And I talk especially about quality time, not just hanging around, on the couch or whatever, but really spending quality time together, because that's where the happiness lies, not just the everyday. When I see this card, it's also, make a wish and stuff like that. Then it's really not about the everyday life. It is as well. I also think it's, think a bit bigger at this point. And then card number 5. The question is, how can I empower my partner? And there we have the 6 of Cups, which is again for me a very personal card when it comes to my husband. So this has a special meaning which I won't explain right now. So that is something that I have to consider. And on the other hand, the 6 of Cups, so I know it's usually, about memories and nostalgia, but let's take another look at it. As we see the white flowers here, this talks about purity and the water, the emotional level of our relationships and of him, and bringing in that purity again. So I can help him, I can empower him by allowing myself and him to bring back that sense of innocence. Because we as a couple, so everybody is different, and we're still very childlike. And I don't mean childish, but childlike. So we are both in our 30s, but still enjoy we still enjoy dressing up, and we still enjoy running with the cameras through the forest making a movie, or we enjoy playing around. And I think that is something that will empower him most, instead of being all the time all that serious. And we both had now last year, it was like a very serious year, and that didn't help. And especially even not him, even though I see him as a very grounded person, is very rational, very grounded. He's always my kind of a mix of the Knight of Coins or the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. But he has a very dreamy aspect as well, which is quite big. And this card is also about being dreamy. And I think the way I can empower him is by myself being more, allowing us both again to be more dreamy and to bring in purity and innocence. Yeah, I guess that's that. And now let's go to the last card. There the question is, how to bring the roots of our feelings back to the surface. And there we have the 10 of Pentacles. And when I saw this image, it reminded me of a special place we went 2 years ago. And the energy we were sharing at this place was so special. And I think not necessarily go and visit this place again, although we do in summer, but I don't think we have to wait until then. But really bringing in that energy again. Remember that energy, sharing that again is very important right now. So otherwise, when I ask how to bring the roots of our feelings back to the surface, you know, when you're in long-term relationships, so as I mentioned, we are together for 15 years, you get lost sometimes in your everyday life, you know, you take each other maybe for granted once in a while. Or you went through other things, like the tower that we had in the beginning. And the Ten of Pentacles really reminds me also, with the tower together, when I talk, we are like that, everybody's there for each other when it's getting tricky. But when it comes to the everyday life, I feel that he has his stuff, I have my stuff, and that's a bit where it's separated. So we see that again in the Ten of Cups. Let me zoom out again a bit. So we saw that in the Ten of Cups as an issue. And so what is really important is that we have that sense of family as a team, you know. Let's just think about the tower here. That is like kind of a Frodo and Sam situation. And not being just that team and very there for each other, because it's kind of like, okay, shit has to go down, that you are really fully there. But here that talks for me more about your daily life and you know, in your house and stuff. And I think there it's important that we remember how to be a team. And it's not bad, you know. I usually don't do relationship readings for myself. It's just because I wanted one and I wanted to share that, so I did a relationship reading. But as I say, it's not bad, but it's lost a bit in the everyday life. So I'm so focused on doing my stuff, and he is very focused on his work, so it's very time consuming with shifts, you know. If somebody worked shifts, you know how it is, it can be tricky. And yeah, so directly, frankly, I think I leave him out a bit too much in general of my own stuff. I don't bring him in enough. So this is a reminder for me to bring him in. And then also, this is of course a card when I see the stone rose, which is definitely my spiritual path. That is what I mean. I have to bring him in there much more as well, because it is his path as well. But I do separate it a bit. I do that. So it's a nice reminder, you know, really be more team in every aspect. Because when we see the traditional Ten of Pentacles, we always have the Arch in the Rider-Waite-Smith, which is that gate between the physical and the spiritual world. And that's very good to see here as well. And again, it is a reminder, like, allow wealth into your life, which we have, like, quite, you know, we have a pattern there. Ooh, so now it's really getting cold. So I think that's it. I stop talking now because I'm getting really cold. It's not the weather yet to do outside readings, but I just was so excited about the sun. So I better get moving now. And as always, I hope this was helpful and that you can use this spread. And yeah, if you want to share it, if you want to do the reading and share it, just let's call it the Roots of Love Tarot. Hashtag Roots of Love. I will put it in the description box as well. There we go. Thank you so much for watching. Much love and blessings, and bye bye.